And we are live.
Yes.
Are you with me?
Hello.
Brilliant.
Yay.
Excellent. We did it.
We made it.
We did. We've crossed the threshold and we are birthing together today the very first of an initiative called 15 Minutes of Impact. And I couldn't be more excited to have you, Niv, on. So 15 Minutes of Impact, just to give everybody an idea of what this is. These are 15-minute interviews. They're conversations that matter. They're an opportunity to shine so much light on the amazing humans, the leaders that we have out there who are doing incredible work in the world, who are creating, who are contributing. And it is my deepest desire to shine light and make you visible so that you can share about who you are, what you're up to, why it's important for you to get this work out there in the world. Because what is true is that we are here to ignite each other, to make a better world for ourselves, for our children, and for our great-grandchildren, and our grandchildren in between. And it couldn't be a more exciting time to invite people into becoming a voice of impact. And by hearing your story, Niv, it will hopefully inspire others to see the journey that one would go on in order to become a person of impact, to become a game changer. And Niv, your story is amazing. I know that I've put a description here inside of the box that everyone can see, but you are creating a community of leaders, believers, and dreamers to come together, a space where they can come together and really identify and cultivate their superpowers and to use them in the world in a new way. And I'm excited. We've got 15 minutes. I'm going to hit the clock and I'm excited to hear from you. How did it come about? How did you create the Army of Love? Tell us about it.
Amazing. And it's my honor to be the first one on the show. And I love this group so much, so I'm excited.
Thank you.
And my story, as you can hear on my accent, started in Israel many years ago, where in the army, we all have to go to the Israeli army. And like a good Israeli kid, I wanted to be the best soldier. And that's what we're learning, you know, since we are young kids. And I go to become in one of the elite units of the parachuters. And everything was all right. I was always kids full of love and wanting to help and wanting to create things and just really help people with the light that I knew I've got inside of me. And at about 20-year-old, I had an experience that changed everything for me, because we've been just practicing in the army and training and never really did anything extreme. But then a war started. Unfortunately, this is the reality in our country. And inside a small refugee camp, we've been fighting for over 3 weeks over there, and it was like in the movies. You know, they teaching us we're not scared. You know, we are soldiers. We're not scared. But I was terrified. I can say that. But we just did what we know and what we trained to do, and we've been getting into people's homes. And blowing actually all in the wall, because the doors was like usually with bombs on them and things like that. And I remember one case that's the case when changed everything for me. And we got in, so my commander of the unit at the same day got shot just 1 meter near to me. And we've been running and taking him out, and we couldn't save him, unfortunately. And I remember being in big storm in my head. And, you know, it's the first time I see something like that in front of me, and a 20-year-old kid. But we couldn't stop. We have to get in, and we couldn't really even digest it. We just got in and keep on going. And at the same day I remember I've been really upset, and I didn't really know how to feed all of those feelings I had inside of me. And we got into a house at around midnight, and we blow a hole in the wall and getting in. And I remember getting in first with my rifle and putting it towards the head of the dead of the family, just to make sure he's not gonna do anything to us. And then something happened. It was midnight, and the mom of the family came carry 2-year-old baby on her hand, and probably a 5-year-old kid holding his hand on the other. And then they all crying, obviously, and waking up from the sleep. And it was this little moment when I look into these baby eyes, and something was, the whole world stopped for me in this moment, in this second, because through her eyes, I could see all this situation of what's going on in there. She waking up in the middle of the night, she see me holding a rifle to her dead head. And over there, I understand everything of what we are doing and all this cycle and how it's all happening. And then the funny thing is that dad of the family was breaking the silence and just say, why did you blow the wall? You would knock on the door, I would have opened it for you. And we both start looking at each other and start laughing like man to man in the middle of a vicious war. And I think that's kind of took all those feelings that I had and grounded me to the ground. And really, I understand I can choose. I can choose what I can do in these moments.
Wow. And how powerful. I mean, you know, I think about all of the game changers out there and how we have this, so often we have this common story of overcoming some incredible circumstances in our lives, challenges, heartbreak, sometimes illness, but there's usually an adversity that we've experienced in our life. And your story is very unique because it's just, you know, it has such, all of humanity in it, such trauma, such, you know, war is such a devastating, you know, thing for all of us to witness. And there's a crossroads that you as a soldier came to. There is the path towards war and there is this path towards love. And you have been completely unique in what you've created in your life. And I've met with your family and I've seen the lifestyle that you've chosen with you and your beautiful wife and your children. I've had the honor of having you in my home. Tell us about what it took to choose a path of love and what the Army of Love is really about at the essence. What is it here to create in the world?
Exactly. Yeah. So after that case, I knew I'm going to create a different type of army. I just knew it. And it's become my mission in life and I didn't know how to do it. So I did what many others are doing. I say, I'm going to create big businesses and I'm going to sell them in millions of dollars so I can start spend money and time and create change in our world, you know? And so I go on and build startup businesses and everything, but this calling always was there, you know? And it's only really just now that I couldn't anymore. I left everything, you know, this feeling inside that I've got something so much bigger and that I'm putting my life on. When I create money and when I do that, then I will get out of it.
It's such a common thing that game changers often say, when I've created enough money, when I have all of my resources together, then I'm going to create, you know, this game-changing social enterprise that has the highest contribution that you're here to birth in the world. It kind of come last when I have everything in order. Tell us a little bit about how you've come to the decision to make this the priority and what is exactly the priority of the Army of Love so that everyone here can really discover this incredible project and how they might be able to get involved.
Yeah, so the Army of Love is based obviously on my story and pains that I got as a conscious, awakened soul on this journey of life. So many times we feel lonely. We feel like we're not understood by our family, by our friends, you know, going with all these crazy ideas, wanting to change the world. And so it's come from a place of, as well, loneliness, of how we can bring together. It's always been after seeing what the army can do, you know, what a strong community can do. I was always wondering, because I've been coaching as well in the coaching arena for a very long time, and it's also felt really lonely. Anyone try to get his own message out, and I say, but there is a huge calling to get together, to play together, to bring those conscious leaders and dreamers and believers with their own ideas without the egos, and put it aside and come together and try to create something big. And so the Army of Love is a place for everyone to come and connect and open conversations that are not on Facebook. It's not about sharing beautiful quotes or anything. It's about connect on the deeper level without being scared to be seen, or that your family see it on Facebook, or people that you don't want that know what's going on really through your head, because many people that I meet are struggling with it and feeling this calling inside, but they don't have a space to really let it out, and maybe they try and they got slammed down, and so they come back to the reality. So first of all is about connecting and opening up real conversation where people feeling that this environment is a safe place, it's home, and they can share everything and they can get advice from amazing people, and just sharing together, you know. So that's the first thing that we're doing. And the second thing is about going behind ourselves, so giving and contribution. So every month we are donating together. So the Army of Love based that way, that it's a non-for-profit organization, and each member pay $5 a month, and we call it, we each put something small and we create big things. And so we're collecting those fees, and then each month we either donating to a charity, or we either bringing a project of a member to life. So people with amazing ideas of how they can change the world. I know it's pretty hard to actually get the money and promote yourself properly, or get this book out, or whatever is the desire. Here we got a community and people can submit what is it that they want to do. And every month, because we will have many members, we have as well money to play with. So to take this part of money, that this is big part of our world, and help people to really bring their dreams and vision to life together. And so we all changing people's life as like donating and creating a full, let's say, water for a village in Africa, you know, from these people will see that from this little of $5 a month of a coffee cup, with as organization, we are creating big things in the world, helping our members, and also going behind ourselves. And what I mean by going beyond ourselves, this is something always been in me, you know. When I've been focused about what's in it for me, what I can do for me, you know, I always stuck. And every time this purpose come through me of like really bring change and really want to help, I get into my genius zone. I start to get all this channeling, all these ideas, and it's something I really want to share with people of coming together here, whatever you do, regardless in your private life and business. Here we're getting an organization. We build an army of people that really want to make an impact in this world and don't know really how.
It's like this idea of purpose before profit. And when we really have our hearts drop into our purpose, everything else starts to fall in place. Like I call it, the universe starts to organize around your success and all of the, you know, worries that we have about how we can look after ourselves financially, and, you know, how we can bring more income and, you know, just be, you know, have some safety and security. These answers also become solved when we're leading with our heart. And I can really see what is happening for you. It's birthing this new world where we're going from isolation and being alone and not having places to voice our vision, to you creating this space where, you know, these great minds, these change makers can come together and work together, collaborate and share ideas, because we have so many resources when we come together, don't we, Niv? I feel like we're birthing a whole new reality of ways in which we can not only take care of ourselves, but we take care of humanity at large. I'd love to hear from you. We still have 3.5 minutes. We're doing brilliantly for time. What do you see as being the greatest problem, you know, that we're facing in our world today? From your own heart, what you see, and what do you see as being the solution? And I'm very famous for asking lots of questions at once, but what is the great problem? What is the solution? And what can somebody out there who's listening to this interview do that's just a simple act of change and contribution that you feel someone can activate even today?
Yeah, it's amazing question. I think the biggest problem, as I see it in the world, is this divide and conquer, that we are this mentality that been operated for years, and it's so inside our DNA that it's crazy. Even when we're coming from a place of coaching and wanting to help, it's always come back into what is it for me and how I can do and how I can become better and bigger. And I think the biggest calling is now to connect together, to bring together we're powerful. And I think, you know, this divide and conquer is like between, as we say in Israel, it's Arab and Israelis, but it's between, it's everywhere around the world, between each other. because we have this mentality this system that actually been implied on us for a very long time. But I think we are the new generation, got a complete different calling, and we all know it. It's just that we still keep playing small in our own arena. And that's why the Army of Love is coming in. And I think what you ask about how someone can start, and this is the biggest mission of the Army of Love, as we say, is to help people. I understand I can't go and solve and sit with all the leaders of the world and solve the war situation around the world, but I know there is one solution, and this is if we can get people to really allow themselves to shine this light and to find the first questions when you get into the Army of Love, it's what is your superpower? And we're getting some amazing answers from people, and people know that they got superpower, but they either scared from it, from the big light that they got, or they don't know how to access it and how to use it. And so in the Army of Love, the main mission, beside connecting and sharing and experiencing together, is learning and developing, either finding it, or if you already know what it is, getting the tools. So this is our training in the Army. We will train people to, I sometimes look at it like the X-Men movie where Dr. Xavier is getting all the mutants together and he showed them the real life and they're going to save the world. I love those metaphors because if we can see, that was my personal journey. I was scared from my life, so I prefer to do other things that I'm comfortable with. Business, I was really good in business. And I say, when I get the money and time, I'll do my own thing. But this calling is bursting, this light, this just want to come out. And so the main thing is for us, what we do, the other thing we do with the money, beside donating and helping project, is bringing top leaders, people that I was fortunate enough to work with them, and other people around the world that are doing amazing stuff to really come and give exclusive content for us as a group to grow together and really master this. Because a group like that of people that are mastering their superpowers, and because they are together now, they got the courage to really go and use it. I think it excites me just to think what can happen from a group like that starting to get out there to the world and really make a change. And so I think
and that is the 15-minute alarm going off just now. But I'm just as excited with you. And here's a few things that I just want to really point out is we're now creating the structures. This is a takeaway that I'm taking from your talk, is we're now creating the structures that are going to enable the people who have been feeling and sensing and yearning to make a contribution, to really be the change. We're creating the structures for that to happen. And the Army of Love is a space and a structure that is going to support the fertilization of somebody who is here for change. And I love that people are welcome into your Army of Love. I'm in the Army of Love.
You are in, and we're so excited.
Subscriber. And in honor of you, Niv, from here on, there will be a question that I ask every leader that I interview on the 15 Minutes of Impact. And that is, what is your superpower and how are you going to use it to change the world? So you're the first person to answer the question. What is your superpower? How are you going to be using it to change the world? I can't wait to hear your response.
After many years that I try so many superpowers, I finally know mine, and that's what got me to do the Army of Love. I'm a connector. I'm really good in bringing people in together and hold the space so we can create a shift together. And I always did it in my businesses and everywhere it was in front of my eyes, but I never really dared to go out there and do something with it. But now I know it, and when I start use it, it's just amazing, the transformation that is happening for me by doing what I'm good at. And so
and I've known you for a short time, but you are definitely a connector and you are a supporter. You are so brilliant at igniting and supporting others. So it's a blessing to have you on to really open up 15 Minutes of Impact. I couldn't imagine having someone that is more wholehearted and more in service to humanity, given what you've experienced, given what you've seen in your life, given the path that you could have taken in your life, to what you've chosen. I love the idea that we all have a crossroads where we can make a choice, and it's never too late to make that choice. And we all have a bright light within us to be that change maker that we sense that we're here to be. I thank you deeply for your time.
Thank you so much.
We've done so good. We're just like a minute and a half, 2 minutes over. But I will be putting in the description how people can reach out to you and connect with the Army of Love so that we can all get behind you the way you get behind us and get involved. I love you, Niv.
Absolutely. Love you too so much. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
I just want you to know that this will be shown as it is, live and Fierce and Fully Expressed. We have a group of 2,500 people. It will go through to our newsletter, this video, this interview, and it will be on the Elevate Radio and podcast station inside of our Elevate Your Life podcast. And I cannot wait to shine the light and really spread this message out. And anyone else who feels inspired to jump on for 15 minutes of impact, make sure that you drop a comment below, say yes, me, and it will be my honor, my pleasure to shine the light on you and get these game changers out there in the world. Much love.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Niv. Bye, everybody.
See ya.